r/AskReddit. What sounds offensive but actually isn't. Rapeseed oil. Funny add-on. A few years back, a small town figured they should change their town motto. They had been in the cannella and honey game since way back. Their motto: the land of rape and honey. I still cannot believe there is a burger restaurant called Fuddruckers. My dyslexia always kicks in when I drive by the sign, and I'm like, they really named a restaurant like that. Then I realize how it's really spelled, and I say, they really named a restaurant like that. Masticated. I love masticating. I do it many times a day. Screw you for making me actually look up something in Google Dictionary. All kidding aside though, yeah, that's pretty funny. Also, for other lazy people, chew, chigga sounds like two racial slurs, but it's just a bug. Just a bug. Those little slits are plenty offensive. My grandpa used to tell me it was more polite to call them chigros. No, grandpa, I don't think it is. The name click. I used to work as a nurse's aide in a nursing home, and part of my job was assisting residents with their meals. Some residents you had to actually feed their entire meal. Well, one morning during breakfast, I was assigned to take care of Click. He would always chew and chew his food and never swallow it. Also, he was hard of hearing, so I pretty much yelled, "Swallow that, Click," in a crowded dining room. What a weird day that was. Cant. In 10th grade English, we were learning about cant, and I could not stop giggling because it seemed like the teacher was saying cant every other word. My teacher finally told me to stop, but I would still bust out a giggle every now and then. Mediocre or average. Sometimes things are not bad or good, they are just in the middle. Competitive salary is code for average salary, and yet competitive salary sounds higher than saying an average salary. They are competing to see who can get away with paying the least. Nobody cares about you. When you're in your teens, you stress about so many little things. A small zit, less than perfect hair, an embarrassing moment, whatever. Then you get into adulthood and start worrying that people will judge you for going to the movies alone, wearing pajama pants to the grocery store, napping in the library. It's really, people are more concerned with themselves and whether others are judging them, that they don't actually care what you're doing, but it just doesn't have that zing to it. I'm wet. From a glider pilot, almost exclusively older white men. It means they're flying with ballast, but almost all of them choose to say I'm wet rather than I have water or ballast. I snicker every damn time. Conversely, if they are not flying with water, they'll say they are dry. With that in mind, this is my favorite call I've heard someone make. Papa Charlie, I'm dry and ready. I don't know half of you half as well as I should like, and I like less than half of you half as well as you deserve. It's kind of crazy how sweet Bilbo was, considering he had been carrying the ring for several decades at that point. Spigot. Yo. I'm just trying my Minecraft server. I have a friend who lives in a part of Canada where French speakers are common. There's a swear in French, Sacremain, which is one of those religion-based swears, like to burnac but not quite as strong. She likes to shout Sacremain when she's frustrated, which is handbag or purse in French. It gets her a lot of raised eyebrows, which of course is her aim. P.S. I apologize to any French speakers I've offended with lack of accent marks. I'm just too lazy to figure out how to make my keyboard do them. The word niggardly. It means not generous or stingy. I had a history teacher who tried to say the word, but his southern drawl made it sound like he left out the D. The guy paused wide-eyed and said the word again in the most articulated way I've ever heard someone talk. Intelligence is being able to understand that the word isn't as bad as it sounds. Wisdom is knowing that it shouldn't be used anyway. Mental illness. When someone talk about mental illness, people always think about psychopath or something like that. Like, no, mental illness isn't a offensive word. It's turning into an insult. Retard used to be strictly a professional term, but now it's mostly used as an insult. Saying that someone is ignorant. It just means they don't understand the subject. There's nothing wrong with not understanding something. The problem arises when ignorant people think they are experts. Dunning-Kruger. Embracing ignorance is often a sign of intellectual maturity. My cousin called my partner and his family boat people. I was mortified until I learned that Vietnamese refugees in the 70s and 80s were actually called boat people. No problem, as a response to thank you. I still don't understand why people take offense to that. White people are offended by that. I always say no problem. I didn't know there are people that find something wrong with it. What's your salary? You should know your co-workers' salaries. I've seen my salary. I'm plenty offended by it. There's a town in Wales called Crieff. I always thought that it should seem like be a rude word but isn't. Same with Clitheroe, Cockermouth and Fingeringhue. Edit. I have been reliably informed in my inbox that even the locals of Cockermouth call it Nabingob. I suppose you have to make your own fun up in Cumbria. Ah, good old Clitheroe. I spent a lot of my teenage years there. Can confirm it just gets abbreviated to Clit by the locals. I got engaged in Clitheroe. Wear a mask. Why are you trying to suffocate me? My crazy ass aunt and uncle from Florida. Redditor. It's a euphemism for virgin now. Is it still considered a euphemism if it's true? Saying no or refusing something without giving excuse. Like, no, I don't want to have a visit today. So even if you ring my doorbell and you saw my car, I will not open the door. No, I don't want to go to a party tonight. No, I have nothing going on. I just don't want to. No, I don't want ice cream. No, I will not kiss that man on the cheeks 2 times to say bonjour. He either shake my hand or nothing. I don't care. That doing la bise is a normal girl thing. Why do we even try to justify ourselves? A no should be enough. At my work we call forms that have been checked and ready to scan clean skins. I don't know. It always sounded racist to me. It would sound racist to me too if I were a gal. A lot of people get offended by the word ignorant. Apparently they are ignorant to the definition. I've seen a lot of people calling people ignorant when they disagree with the position that another person is taking, so they don't have to go through the effort of defending their position. This is a cop-out. Calling someone out for pulling dulcet out of the air when you know full well they don't know what they are talking about is deserved and a public service. So context matters here. Saying a person touched me with their message. You touched me with your comment. That outfit/dress doesn't look good. This isn't an insult. You can always change the outfit and it's better to know if it's not your style before you buy it. My go-to is to say it's not flattering. That way they still feel good and know I mean the outfit doesn't highlight their best features. Every single word on my language, like Krankenwagen, that just means ambulance. Everything in German sounds offensive in one context or another. Now that I think about it, saying the cook cooks cherry chocolate cheesecake in the church kitchen in German would sound like a really offensive tongue twister. Bastard and bitch. Bastard, someone whose parents weren't married. Bitch, a female dog. Moist, it's so delicious and moist. Look at me still talking when there's science to do. Crackerjack. It sounds like a slight as opposed to a compliment. Bob is a real crackerjack employee means Bob is a real top-notch employee. Come and go. It's just a chain of convenience stores in the Midwestern US. Don't forget In and Out Burger. Karen. The only people who ever really get offended by being called a Karen are those that fit the stereotype. Eurodiploid just means you have paired chromosomes. All humans without extra or missing chromosomes are diploids. I'm sorry but I'm not attracted to you. If they can't take a hint and keep pestering you, sometimes you have to be straight up with them. I don't care. Situation. Hey, what do you think I should wear? I don't really care. You can wear whatever you want. I know a lot of people would take offense to this, even if I don't use it in a rude tone. It's not rude. Facts. Men are generally stronger than women. Men are stronger than women, but it doesn't mean women are weak. I find it's very difficult to word without sounding very sexist, but women can do the same things men can. It's just, an unathletic man can lift more weight than an unathletic woman, for instance. There's a place in upstate New York called Gobbler's Knob. It's probably referring to a geological outcropping frequented by turkeys. which itself sounds like a clumsy euphemism. Indeed it is. Oxymoron. I thought it was the supreme insult for years, before I actually looked it up. Yeah, whatever, you oxymoron. This is old news to the rest of us. Bunghole. It's the hole in a wooden barrel that is used to fill or empty the barrel. It's stoppered with a bung, which is simply a plug of some sort. Used to be wood, but now they're mostly silicon. Therapist if you read it incorrectly. Molestation if you read it incorrectly. The truth. Most people nowadays are so sensitive that when you tell them anything contradictory to their opinion/beliefs, they are offended. You're still here? Great. Now you must support me by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. I'll see you on my next video.